Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric, and today's park battle is between two Cedar Fair parks, Knott's Berry Farm and Carowinds. Can Carowinds defend its win streak of 1? Let's find out. Before I begin, I ask that you subscribe to the channel. We have been growing quite a bit lately, I appreciate all of your support. I hope we can get to 600 subscribers by the end of May. I hope you'll help me get to that. Now without further ado, let's begin this park battle. And stay tuned at the end for potential announcements. First up, as usual, we have B&M Inverts. Silver Bullet gets points for its very beautiful scenery, but Afterburn is much more intense, has a better layout, and is therefore the winner of the first point. Next up, we have the Launch Coasters, Copperhead Strike and Accelerator. I have not been on Copperhead Strike, personally, and while the layout does seem better, I think I will give Accelerator the point for looking a lot more intense, and the fact that I think it is a fantastic launch coaster. Now for the Loopers, Montezuma's Revenge and Carolina Cyclone. Some of you may think this is very unfair as you don't like Carolina Cyclone, however, I love the ride. I think it's a really good aero looper, and while it's pretty good, Montezuma's Revenge is better overall. It's more memorable, has a very interesting layout, and the launch is actually pretty strong. Now for two family coasters, Jaguar and Carolina Gold Rusher. Carolina Gold Rusher is more thrilling overall, though I think it's a little bumpier and the theming on Jaguar is very smooth and fun, so I will give Knott another point. Now we have family coasters that have Express in their name. Pony Express and Woodstock Express. One's a launch coaster, one's a wooden coaster, both very solid. However, I think Pony Express is a bit smoother, more thrilling, and more unique overall. Now we have real kiddie coasters, not family coasters. Timberline Twister and Wilderness Run. And the layout's a bit more unique on Timberline Twister, and it's a bit more fun overall. So while I think there's more thrills a little bit on Wilderness Run, this will be going to Timberline Twister, and it gets the half points. Now for more family coasters, there's quite a few at these parks. Kitty Hawk and Sierra Sidewinder. While Kitty Hawk actually is a very beautiful setting, and is kind of well themed, and I think it's a very good ride, I give the point to Sierra Sidewinder as it can be a very intense spinning coaster if you sit in the right directions and kind of balance the weight in certain ways. I definitely think it deserves the points. Now for Wild Mouse coasters, this is tough, as Coast Rider does have a drop at the beginning. That's always a good thing on Wild Mouse coasters. However, I think it's the slowest Wild Mouse I've ever been on, and I think Ricochet is more thrilling, and I want to give it points for that. So Carowinds gets a point. It's a bit closer than it was, but still pretty far behind. But our final coaster matchup is between the best coasters in the park, at least in my opinion. Ghost Rider and Fury 325, both are fantastic, and this is actually a really close matchup as both are in my top 10. Ghost Rider is some of the best intensity and airtime of any roller coaster I've been on. However, I do still give the point to Fury, as I do think Fury is a better layout overall, mostly due to its massive size, so it gets the points. Now for extra coasters, Knott's has one extra coaster, that being Hang Time, and it gets an extra point for that. And Carowinds gets 5 points for Hurler, Nighthawk, Vortex, Intimidator, and the Flying Cobras. I guess I could have matched up Hang Time against one of these coasters, but I think it'd be a very weird matchup. That said, Carowinds now has the lead. But we're moving away from roller coasters and to the drop towers. Knott's has a taller, faster, more thrilling drop tower than Carowinds, so it earns the points. Now for flat rides, and each park has 2. Soul Spin and La Revolucion at Knott's, and also we have Electro Spin and a Windseeker at Carowinds. Each park earns 2 points for those. Now for dark rides. And Knott's Berry Farm recently refurbished their Voyage to the Iron Reef, and is now themed to Knott's Berry Tales. Either way, the park will be getting a point for this, along with the amazing Calico Mine Ride. And Knott's Berry Farm gets 2, while Carowinds gets 1 point for its Plants vs. Zombies shooter. Now for water rides. Knott's Berry Farm has 2 world-class water rides, Timber Mountain Log Ride and the Calico Rapids. Carowinds does not have anything to combat this, So Knott gets 2 points, Carowinds gets none. Now for other rides, which park has more non-roller coasters overall? Carowinds has 42 rides, while Knott's has only 30. So Carowinds gets this point for having more. Now for shows, I don't think either one really has standout shows overall, but there's some bright spots in each. Like, I think there's some good Western shows in Knott's, but also some decent Southern ones in Carowinds. So some may say Knott's is a lot better, but I personally give this one a tie. Each park can get a point for this. Now for food, and this is no contest, Knott's Berry Farm wins. I love the Carowinds food. The Southern stuff is really great, the barbecue, but there's no denying that Knott's has some of the best theme park food, especially the fried chicken. Now appearance. This one is interesting as Carowinds has made recent improvements from the entrance to the county fair area. It's a very nice park. That said, you can't really beat the ghost town at Knott's Berry Farm and the boardwalk areas with that. So I'm going to give Knott's the points. Next is layouts. And as we look at these, both are clearly good. Though through my experiences, I think getting from ride to ride and finding entrances was a bit more difficult at Knott's overall. I think there's a few more sort of paths that are easier to get around for Knott's, but finding rides, I struggled more. So I'm definitely going to say that overall, while both are good, Carowinds wins. Now for the operating season. Knott's is open year-round, so it definitely wins the point, because Carowinds is not open year-round. And our final category is operations. Carowinds operations are better overall. Knott's is kinda slow on some of their rides, and there were definitely a lot of breakdowns when I went compared to Carowinds, which did not have any. Fury's operations are insane. So I'm going to say overall, Carowinds wins this final category. And overall, that means it still loses by 2.5 points. Knott's Berry Farm is the winner, congratulations! I personally like Carowinds more, but that's because I value roller coasters more than other aspects, and Knott's is clearly the all-around better park. Congratulations to both, and sorry Carowinds, you've lost your win streak again. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video, and now for the announcement. I'm going to Cedar Point on Memorial Day weekend, and if anybody else is going to the park on Memorial Day weekend, I can try to organize a meetup on one of the days I'm there. Hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe to help support the channel, I'll see you next time.